Welcome the founder and chief executive officer of AuntFlow, joined by community champion of the Utah Period Project, Claire Coder and Kristin Andrus.
We have to mix this up. Oh my gosh. How fun, how fun. You guys, we are here to truly mix this up with some blue, some hot pink, and talking about periods. Woo! I am so enthused that Silicon Slopes would ask us to do this. I think it's so cool, as we have a lot of gentlemen and a lot of women here, that this is something that we are still talking about. As you guys know, we are at the Hall of Fame, and we're able to talk to you guys and get you guys Period Project approved. But I am thrilled to have Claire Coder here with me. She has been, I'm like out of breath from that dance party. By the way, if you guys need a break and you need to get up and dance, we're totally all in watching you guys, shake a leg, do some squats, whatever you want. Claire is an incredible young female entrepreneur who completely disrupted a space that has been stagnant for decades. And every woman in this room, except for Claire, has walked into a public bathroom, a school bathroom, and has seen an aluminum dispenser on the wall that accepted quarters, and we did nothing about it. We didn't use it, for one, and we definitely didn't think oh, maybe there's a better way. So I love that about Claire. I'm so excited to have her. I am with the Utah Period Project, championing this cause across the state, and some of my colleagues and friends are here with us today, so look for us. Hot pink booth, probably the only one. But I want to give you a little glimpse into how I got here in a pink suit and have been wearing pink and talking about periods for the last year. So I had the opportunity to learn about period poverty, which means that the girls that are in the free lunch line or the moms that are pulling up to the pantries at the Utah Food Bank, who we're actually packing for today and tomorrow, are choosing every month between period products and a meal. It's called period poverty, and it exists in your child's school. I promise you that. This is not a problem in India and Africa, although it is. It is a problem in Holiday, Utah, in Alpine, Utah. You name the town, it is happening there. So I was able and fortunate enough to start talking about period poverty and having people listen. And I got in my Suburban, as we all have with all of our kids around here, right? And I traipsed up and down the Wasatch Front and went into schools and learned from office managers and secretaries and school counselors what was really going on in their schools. And what they said to me, literally through tears, is no one's ever walked in with this silent need of pads and tampons. What do girls do? Well, they come to the office and they stand in line behind the guy that they like, and they're like, I have a natural bodily function that just happened, but I have to come to the office to talk to somebody about it. Heaven forbid I have something in the bathroom to take care of this. And it became more and more apparent that this is an issue. And this is one more thing that is in the way of keeping our girls in school. It's one more thing that says you have to leave to take care of your business. And that's not okay. So I sat with a dad as I was passing out a little, like a little pocket full of pads and tampons, and I handed it to a little girl. I think she was in 5th or 6th grade. And the dad took it from me and said, wait, what is this? And I said, it's period products for your daughter. And he took it from me and he said, she doesn't need this. Single dad. Little girl lives with her dad. And the little girl looked up at her dad and gave him that knowing glance. And he said, you need these? What has she been doing month after month after month? What are our 3rd graders, 5th graders, 6th graders been doing month after month after month their entire educational career that they are in school? They have not had what they've needed, and hence the Utah Period Project, and we'll go way into that, but I just wanted to introduce a little bit of the context of why this matters. And I'll tell you, it's personal. It's personal to girls in your kids' schools. And so thank you for taking the time to listen to us today. I'm so excited to introduce you to Claire, who at the age of 18 said, this isn't okay. I don't have a quarter, and nor do my friends. And I'm actually going to disrupt this industry, and I'm going to do something about it. So tell us, Claire, what that looked like.
Oh gosh, Kristin, thanks for that context. And you're right. Every person in this room loves someone who menstruates. So this isn't just a women's thing, this is an everybody thing. So 6 years ago, when I was 18, I was at an event very similar to this. And I got my period and went to the bathroom, and there was that archaic, coin-operated tampon and pad dispenser. Naturally, I didn't carry a quarter because who carries quarters? And I thought, if toilet paper is offered for free, why aren't tampons and pads? If toilet paper is offered for free, why aren't tampons and pads? They all respond to natural bodily functions. And so at 18 years old, I thought, wow, why has this not changed? It does not have to be the way that it has always been. And I ended up dropping out of college to start working on this initiative. At the time, it was just a small idea. I waitressed, and all of the money that I made waitressing, I put into inventory to buy tampons and pads and sell them to local businesses so that they could join the menstrual movement. Fast forward 6 years, and now AuntFlow is stocking thousands of bathrooms with our tampon and pad dispensing system. And so not only did we just wait around, we made the decision that we could make the change.
Incredible. I love that she saw this gap, which we all see all the time, but actually at 18, and by the way, look up Claire Coder on Google. She has the most incredible stories. At 18, we're like a little bit more creative with how we go about things. She has done some incredible things to get to where she is. So love learning that about you. Okay, so you have raised over $11 million in venture capital. Incredible, right? And has built the most fantastic team that the Utah Period Project has been able to work with over the last year. And we all know that team is everything. Tell us a little bit about where AuntFlow is today and what it's looking like 6 years later.
Yeah, so our business is simple. I can show you here. We created a patented tampon and pad dispensing system. And once again, it doesn't have to be the way that it's always been. So we decided to make our dispenser inviting, a window so you could see what you're getting when you press the button, a way for young women and menstruators to feel really good about the product. And now, 6 years later, from an idea to today, AuntFlow stocks over 20,000 bathrooms with AuntFlow dispensers and products, ranging from every Apple retail store across the US and Canada. We stock sports stadiums, 23 professional sports stadiums, so that when you're at the big game and you get your period, you don't have to leave. Or when there's a clear bag policy or a no bag policy and you can't bring your period products in with you, you have what you need in the bathroom. And so now, 6 years later, we stock all these bathrooms. We have a team of 35 full-time team members. We're headquartered in Columbus, Ohio, and we're constantly growing and educating the importance of offering free period products in the bathrooms.
And they do such an incredible job. That education piece goes with that. As we've been rolling this out in Utah, we realize that education has to go with that. Okay, so you're making this sound like very easy, like, oh, we just like rolled out, but I know that there's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, no pun intended, as you have had this journey. So tell us a little bit about the reality of being a young 18-year-old female founder and entrepreneur.
You know, Kristin, I always joke that if I knew anything about venture capital, AuntFlow would not exist. Thankfully, I started this when I was 18, so I was naive to all of the challenges. So first off, we decided to create a piece of hardware, which is very not sexy in the venture world. If I wanted to make it sexy, we would have IoT-enabled widgets, right?
Yeah.
And so when we were raising our first round of capital, and I was 20 years old, it was 86 meetings to close our first $1.5 million, which then started the entire process to change this industry. And there's a lot of education. We hear oftentimes, well, don't you just know when you're going to get your period? Well, no, I'm an established and experienced menstruator like yourself, and I still can't plan it. So you don't just know. And so there's a lot of education that we had to do before we could even get to the pitch part. And so, yeah, it's been really hard. 6 years just means that we have a lot of progress that we've made, but I'm also very tired, but also still very excited about all the opportunity that we have.
You do. It's a huge market. Tell us a little bit, what does that look like? And probably we would have no idea, right?
Oh my gosh. Well, in the venture world, a lot of the tech folks here, when I first raised capital, there was no market for B2B period care, right? The total addressable market. So we had to create it. And now we know there are 10 million female commercial bathrooms in the United States, making this a $4.7 billion category that no one was paying attention to.
That we walked by.
Thousands of times. That we didn't talk about. How often do you get to talk about and swing around tampons on a stage? This is awesome. So we didn't talk about it, and now we have built it. And we did this too by passing legislation. And this is part of the incredible work that you do. Now 20 states have passed legislation requiring schools to offer free period products in the bathrooms. I know! Just 30 more to go. Woohoo! But 20 states. And this is critical because by offering free period products in bathrooms, not in the nurse's office, you go to the nurse when you're sick. You don't go to the nurse when you're having a natural bodily function. So right in the bathrooms, it increases attendance amongst girls. And one of our most recent wins from a legislative perspective is Utah! Woohoo! Kristin.
Yes.
Utah.
It's been incredible. Okay, really quick, my favorite answer when we've been chatting is I'm like, Claire, you're this young female founder. And she's like, stop. And what did you say to me?
Kristin, everybody wants to talk about the young female CEO. It's a fabulous headline. College dropout founds billion-dollar company. But really it just means that I have to be 10 times better at my job. I don't want to be a good female CEO. I want to be the best CEO, period. That's what I'm after. Not just a good female CEO, the best CEO, period. So yes, that was my answer. Kristin was like, tell me the woman stuff. And I'm like, I'm just here to be the best CEO and make this world better for people with periods.
I love that. And it's the truth. Okay, so over the last year, we have gotten to know AuntFlow. I always say aunt because I think in Utah we say aunt, but it's AuntFlow, which makes me sound much more mature. And what I've realized is you did not just build a business. You built a movement. You care about messaging. You care about vision. And as 365,000 girls walk into their school bathroom, you cannot pay, actually you can, pay for that messaging that these girls see every time they use the restroom. Tell me why you wake up in the morning, because I know that this is what you really cared about with AuntFlow.
Yeah. The best part about creating a category is you can change anything up and make it the best possible thing. And so at AuntFlow, yes, we are a business. We have these dispensers and period care products, and it's a really good business. But we also give back. We've donated 3.6 million tampons and pads to organizations across the US to ensure that period poverty is eradicated. When we thought about packaging, I was like, imagine the 12-year-old girl who just got her period. And what would it be like if she got a pad that says changing the world one cycle at a time, with ingredients that are clear, with wings, right? Like we love wings on our pads, we want to fly. It's really comfortable. So when thinking about AuntFlow, it wasn't just, oh, let's make them available for free. It was, how can we really change the entire way that menstruation is viewed, accessible, giving back, an ethos that gets people really excited, really to change the world one cycle at a time. So that's what we're focused on.
Absolutely. And I feel like we took a little bit from your playbook here in Utah, where instead of kind of the orangish red, we turned periods pink, and we turned periods into a party. And if you guys are not familiar, I hope you are. I hope you've seen the hot pink billboards and watched us dance with balloons and talking about periods and involving your daughters. We at the Utah Period Project were able to unanimously pass getting free period products into every Utah public and charter elementary, middle school, and high school. Absolutely incredible.
In Utah.
In Utah. And we changed the narrative. We flipped it upside down, just like you have done. And it's not something that's a silent need that we don't talk about. That's a hush-hush. We are now here to talk about it, to party about it. And Utah did it right, you guys. We were able to do a public-private partnership with the legislators, which was so awesome. They were so amazing and supportive. But Jeremy and I and the Miller family were able to choose what dispensers we wanted to put in over 6,300 bathrooms. If you guys have been into school, you know that is a feat. And we had our choice because we were actually going to be buying all of those dispensers. AuntFlow was the clear winner because we knew that passing this bill was going to be rough, but we knew implementation was going to be even rougher. And so having AuntFlow as a partner come in and help us and guide us and educate us and really become a true partner in the state of Utah, absolutely. Last September, we met for the first time. Tell me if you've done this in your business. We met last September, like a couple weeks ago. We have 95% of dispensers on bathroom walls today while our kids are in school. Less than 1 year, we were able to get it passed, get it on walls, and get this incredible partner going. So tell us how you see that Utah did it differently, because we don't talk about this, but New York's done this, California's done this. There's a lot of states. I dare you, go into one of their bathrooms, you will not find period products. What did we do differently here in Utah?
Yeah, so as mentioned, there is legislation, but Utah focused not just on legislation, but implementation. And so you mentioned this public-private partnership, and thanks to your advocacy and family support and contribution and the Larry H. and Gail Miller family coming in to purchase the dispensers, that was really powerful. It created urgency, and Mother Nature doesn't wait. Mother Nature doesn't wait. It created that urgency, and then the Utah Board of Education is committed to ensuring that these dispensers are stocked with AuntFlow organic cotton period products. So it wasn't just pass the legislation and move along, it was make sure that people have access and also celebrate. Kristin, can we talk about how Utah period parties?
Yes, okay, so the best thing that we've done is we have involved our students. So we have over 400 student ambassadors, and about every quarter we get together, we have a DJ, we dance, we have sodas, and we period party like you have never seen before. By the way, during this picture, I was standing on top of a table, everyone's screaming, and they're like throwing pads and tampons at me, and I was like, this is the best moment of my entire life, because you have these advocates, you have these girls who are asking, they're talking to their principals, they know what it's like to sit around a kitchen table and say, I have an idea. I'm gonna do it differently, and I'm gonna speak up, and I'm gonna use my voice, and I'm gonna advocate for women and girls and my daughters and my mom. We did it differently here, and with your partnership, couldn't have done it.
And one thing that we learned is that Utah girls know how to period party. Kristin, do you think that Silicon Slopes knows how to period party? We'll have to find out. Thank you all so much for hanging out and talking about tampons. Woo!
There you go.